This is a 2026 GMC Sierra Denali long bed. And this is a very unique build. I'm willing to bet you someone backed out of this for whatever reason, and now it's available here at Seiner GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. Be sure to text the number below if you'd like to purchase it, and I'll show you guys the window sticker next so you have an idea of how much it's going to cost you. At the very top is a description with the color. So this is black on black. And then this is a short listing of the standard features. Be sure to pause so you can see more. Now, base price comes in at $76,500. And then starting off the options is the diesel. This one does have the upgraded wheels, power running boards, tech package, power sunroof, painted wheel arches, black badging package, fifth wheel, Onyx black with additional charge, rear seat, under seat storage, and then all-weather floor liners. Now, this truck does have destination listed at $27.95 for a total price of $99,335. This truck is just as expensive as the Denali Ultimate. Now, as far as the front end goes, you cannot delete the chrome around the grille, also down below and around the fog lamps right here. But I will admit, having the blackout for the GMC badge right here does look pretty good. You can see front parking sensors, front camera, and check out the side. Painting those wheel arches does look great and makes this look a little bit more premium in my opinion. Also, you can see off to the side here, that 3500 badge is painted. A little bit of chrome around the hood scoop. Premium lighting. And this does have active grille shutters too, by the way. You guys see right here, independent suspension, Rancho shocks, liner is fabric, and here are the tires, which are the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner ATs, 275/65/20, which is 34.1 inches tall, 10.8 inches wide, and it has 3,750 pounds of capacity at 80 psi cold. Now, I own these wheels on a Chevy truck. What do you guys think? They're okay. They're not my favorite design, but they do go well with this truck for sure because of all the blackout. So right here, you guys see they do black out this because I believe this would otherwise be chrome. Also, the Denali badge down below, it's all blacked out. And you could get all the blackout trimming here and for the door handles too if you'd like. But yeah, the wheel arches are pretty much painted all the way except to the mud flaps, so they don't paint those, and I'm okay with that. A little bit of chrome on the running boards. They are the power ones. And I'm sure you guys saw the turn signals. This light is if you're stationary right here, and then this is for backing up. Blind spot alert, and these are power folding and telescoping for tow mode. Smart key systems right there. And this truck does have the skid plate for that transfer case. And there's a little bit of splash protection on the front, nothing special. You guys see that wax coating on the frame. Rancho shocks a little bit better on this side to see. And then here's that long bed. I think that GM has some of the best looking trucks with the longer bed. And I think these steps on the side do help a little bit too. Gives it more of that rugged look. Now, the only negative thing I'll say is you cannot get a larger tank from the factory. If GM did that, man, they would clean up a little bit more so with this truck. So this is 36 gallon, this is 7 gallon. And because this is a 1 ton, you do have these 2 overloads. You have 5 litres in the main pack, that bottom one being a helper spring right there. Liner. Ford does not like to give you liners, by the way. GM does. And I'm sure you guys know this is sequential turn signals front and rear. Full LED tail lights. All the badging is blacked out, except for their surround. GM does not like to give you true blackout. They love to give you a little bit of chrome wherever they can. There's a light here, camera, and then this is that multi-pro tailgate. And then you have your plugs for your trailer. Bed lights, you guys see, power sliding glass. There's 2 cameras above the cab, 400 watts of power. Be sure to check out my Juggernaut promo code if you would like to get a better solution for tying things down in the bed. I think it's a good option to have for these trucks here too. And camera provisions, I have to start pointing this out because this is an advantage. Ford decided to take this away from you on their trucks and charge you for it. GM is still giving it to you without charging you, just saying. Class 5 hitch is right there. Now here's your spare tire. Also 342 rear with the locker, 12-inch ring gear because this is a 1-ton. And if you would like to lift this truck, I do recommend McGaughy's. It will actually improve the ride of this truck. And I think it will look killer on a long bed like this. As far as the Duramax diesel goes, it's still 6.6 liter displacement and still V8 configuration, 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. If that seems like more compared to like the 2017 to 2023, it is because this is a Gen 2 L5P. So 10-speed transmission behind it is the main reason why it has 342 rear. Back in the day, they had the 373 or 410 gears. But I will say, guys, you don't really need the lower gearing because of that 10-speed. When you look at the first, second, and third gears, they're very deep. And so, all in all, I feel like even when you have 37s or even 38s, it still goes in 10th gear without any problems, especially when you're going 70, 75 miles an hour. Now, obviously, I gotta put my promo in for Banks. You can now get their intake for their truck. It's called the Banks Ram Air. This will improve your fuel economy. I know a lot of you guys keep saying that you don't like the fuel prices right now, so that is a good upgrade to have. I also have the inlet and boost tubes on my truck to go along with it, and that's going to help if you do a lot of towing. And I think it just gives the truck a better feel overall. Now, they did add a sensor onto your CCV right here, and that's your crankcase ventilation, so just be mindful of that. 15W40 oil, and lastly, I would also relocate these guys here. Banks has it. Number one. Number two, these are your manifold absolute pressure. Because your EGR system, you have a lot of soot that goes into the intake manifold, and these get really dirty over time, so it's just good to take them out of the stream to keep those clean. So all in all, this is a good engine. I don't really hear a lot of issues with them right now, and I'm pretty sure in the next couple years we'll see another Duramax diesel under the hood. Now, as far as the interior goes, I'm not going to take too much time because I've already shown a few of these this year. So the main reason why I chose this truck is because of the long bed, the wheels, and I wanted to show you with all the other options what the payload would be at the end of this video. So just real quickly, when you get the Denali, you still get a really nice interior. Also 12-way front seats because the lumbar does go up and down. And I always like their overall styling for these seats. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel. They do give you a lighter color roof with the black, but you do have this lighter color gray stitching which goes with it, so I don't give them too much of a headache about that. So at least they make it match. You can see that stitching better with that piping, so that does match the roof. This is going to have the 9-speaker Bose, not the 12 that you see in an Ultimate. Seat memories, and as I said, you have the tow mode, also power folding. And you guys see the wood. I know some people don't like how it goes to like this burnt effect here. I like it. I think it looks kind of cool. A little bit of satin here for the door handle and the trimming. Auto up and down for the front windows only. Auto down for the rear. Now, you guys, real quick, see these floor mats, right? These are the liners. I would recommend not getting these, but buying them after the fact. That way they don't delete your carpet mats, because sometimes I will switch out my all-weather mats and just put my carpet ones in, because if you wear sandals, it's just more comfortable to have your feet on carpet versus this. So that's just something to consider. Out back, you guys see that great design for the door here. Love the speaker grill. And yeah, this is that storage. What do they call it again? I just already forgot. It's called the rear under seat storage. So I'm not a huge fan of this, but I will say, if you have guns, I think that this would be a better solution for something like that. Like you have rifles, I guess that's probably the best way to put it. They actually will fit in here underneath the seat a little bit better. And this gives you just a little bit more deeper storage too. So if you want to add stuff back here, this is a good solution for that. And you know, it doesn't affect anything. You don't even notice that it's there really. You have this storage here, and you guys can see the liners a little bit better. Now these do go all the way this way, right? And that's the benefit of having these liners compared to like the other all-weather ones, because they literally protect majority of the carpet. The only thing I don't like about it is it's kind of flimsy, right? Like it does come off pretty easy, which is a good thing too. Maybe you may not want these covers on here, but if you want these to stay up, there's really no way to keep these up, right? So if you need to put something in here, this could be a little cumbersome. And I think that's why a lot of guys just skip this option. So yeah, all in all, it is a good solution, right? If you need a little bit better solution for the storage, it is available. And then lastly, I want to show you guys the bed camper rating for this truck too, in case you decide you want to use this for a bed camper. Storage. And then down below, this has 3,012 pounds of capacity for a bed camper. Now I'll show you the payload here at the end, but for now I just want to show this over here. 13.4 inch display, 12 inch heads up display. You have a camera for this guy here. Home link is up top, your vanity, and then there's your small sunroof. They don't give you the twin panel still, but I'm sure we'll see that in the future. A little bit of storage. This is a removable tray. Power plug, that's the only one 120 volt in the interior. You have one under the bed, and then you have 2 USBs, 2 more right there, and dual climate control, heated ventilated seats. Heated steering wheel button is actually on the steering wheel where it should be. Let's quickly start this up so I can show you a few things, and then I'll show you the payload. These are your animations. It's pretty cool, right? And put in reverse. See your cameras. You can turn off the 360 pretty easy. Bed view. Turns on the bed lights. You can zoom in. Also,
this vehicle,
you have a backup line here for the bed too, for your 5th wheel gooseneck trailer, or you can turn it off too if you like. You can customize both of these screens pretty easy. And I will say, I know that people complain about the seats in these trucks. They are stiff. I always want to make that point. But I feel as though on longer trips, stiffer seats do feel more comfortable. When they're too soft, I notice that they hurt the bottom of my back. So some people might need that really, really soft seat compared to, you know, these a little bit stiffer. Like Ford has the softest, Ram's like in the middle, GM has the stiffest. That's how it's always been played. As I said, you can customize the screen here. You can take things out of this menu right here. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is wireless, and climate can be still controlled on the screen. I'm sure they're moving towards this simply because these buttons probably in the future are going to go away. This saves GM money not having these, so I'm happy they still have them. Exhaust brake can be turned on and off. There's only a single stage. Lane keep assist alert. Parking sensor can be disabled. You can drop the tailgate, caution lights, traction control, downhill assist. You can set this like a cruise control if you're going downhill at lower speeds. That way you don't have to use the pedals. It just kind of keeps the speed maintained for you, because sometimes you have to go between the gas pedal and the brake pedal, and all you have to do is just steer. That is pretty much it. Like I said, this screen really doesn't have anything exciting in it. You can change the layout of it. I would recommend Banks iDash Pro, because you can see like your exhaust gas recirculation for your emissions. You can see DPF. You can see time since your last regen, and I like to see things like that, so check that out too. You guys see right here, drive modes, full drive autos on this truck, and then here are the numbers on the door. Gross axle weight rating is 6,000 pounds. They do increase that for the long bed. Now the rear is 7,250 pounds. That does stay the same as the standard bed trucks. And then gross vehicle weight rating is additional 150 pounds because of the long guide. So 12,250 pounds total. 20 by 8.5 wide wheels, and all-in payload is 3,762 pounds. Towing capacity conventionally is 20,000. Gooseneck is 21,490. 30,000 pound gross combined weight rating. And this truck weighs 8,488 pounds on the curb. This truck is not that heavy. I will admit, this is actually not bad. And then tire pressure is 60 out front, 80 in the rear. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Be sure to bell notification on. See you guys soon.